What's up, everyone? Jason Gilbert here with Rob Mazika, taking a look at some stacking options for the Tuesday slate. Got some good pitchers on the hill, but there are plenty of bad pitchers to go and stack against.
Yeah, you got some good pitchers like Max Scherzer and Robbie Ray on the hill, but then there's also some gas cans like Tim Adelman and others, and a game in Coors as well that you want to stack too.
Yeah, we got Coors, Senzatella versus Clevenger. I'm really okay with stacking both sides. I don't know if I really have a preference.
I don't either. They're priced up as usual. Actually, not as priced up as normal on DraftKings today, which is a little surprising to me. I mean, the Rockies guys are all above 5K, but on the Indians, only Lindor is the only guy above 5K. So, I mean, you could really stack them easily.
Yeah, like Kibna's 4.6, Brantley's 4.9, Santana and Carrasco 4.5, 4.7. It's not that bad. And you look at Carlos Gonzalez 3.8.
Yeah, I mean, I know he's been bad this season, but he did have a hot stretch a couple weeks ago, so he might be hitting one again soon.
Yeah, so. But looking at our stacks outside of Coors, you and I mean, for once, we're actually three different stacks.
Yeah, for once, even in the GPP, we are always on the same guy, so this is going to be good. You're going to get 6 full stacks from us.
Yep. So as far as your top one, who are you looking at?
My top one is the Diamondbacks, actually, for a contrarian play. Danielson Lamet, he's a very good prospect. He's elite against right-handers, but he in the minors, he got crushed by lefties. And going in the Chase Field, he's going to face the lefties and Jake Lamb and David Peralta. So those are two guys I'm really looking towards. You could round it out with Gregor Blanco, and then you have Paul Goldschmidt, who's just elite against anybody, and he'll be able to hit Lamet, especially at home.
Yeah, no, I definitely never going to argue against Arizona stack at home. They're just dominant there, and getting back there is definitely going to help their offense. My top stack's Detroit. They get Ian Kinsler back. They're also getting Jesse Chavez, who's on the road. This guy away from home is just completely awful. 380 WOBA allowed away from home, 298 at home. His home runs per nine skyrockets 2.25. He's also reverse split, 359 WOBA to righties this year. I just look at this Tigers offense, and I mean, you know, Kinsler, Cabrera, J.D. Martinez, Justin Upton, I mean, all decent numbers against righties, and it looks like the wind's blowing out as well.
They have tons of power. I think James McCann is going to be coming back too, so that also a boost at the catcher position. My second stack is going to be the St. Louis Cardinals. They're my second day in a row. They're my favorite stack, but today they're going against Tim Adelman with the wind blowing out in Great American Small Park. Adelman, he hasn't been terrible, but he has blown up a couple games. He's given up 6 runs in one game, and even a game against the Cardinals this season where he gave up 5 runs in 5 innings. So you got the guys, basically the top 5 in the order: Fowler, Carpenter, Piscotty, Jerko, and then even Yadi Molina. And in his career, Great American Small Park is the place where he's hit the most home runs in his career, outside of St. Louis, obviously, but he has most home runs in his career there.
Yeah, I definitely no problem with the Cardinals. I think in terms of ownership, I mean, you're going to get them much lower than we're getting them right now.
Yeah, for sure. Yesterday, they were the chalk stack of the night, especially on FanDuel. But I think tonight against the Reds, against Tim Adelman, they're going to come in much lower owned, especially with Coors on the slate.
I'm looking at New York. The Mets head to Texas. Definitely a big upgrade in park factors. And you look at the Mets, I mean, against right-handed pitching, they've been pretty solid. Top 10 in hard contact and ISO, 5th most runs. And then when they get outside of Citi Field, they rank 1st in ISO, 2nd in WOBA, and are 1st in hard contact. Getting Dylan G, he used to pitch for the Mets, but has always struggled against lefties, 344 WOBA. So Conforto, Bruce, Walker, Duda, the prices are higher on all 4 of those guys now, but I think that might keep their ownership at least somewhat leveled off from what it would be if it was a little bit lower.
Yeah, it will, and the ballpark is definitely going to help as well for them. Much better on the road, that team too.
Third stack, who you got?
Mine is the Seattle Mariners going up against Hector Santiago. Santiago, he's been terrible against both batters from both sides of the plate. Against lefties, surprisingly, he only has a 3.2% soft contact. I know it's a small sample of only 45 batters, but that's still really bad. And then against righties, he also has about 18% soft contact. So that's about 80% of the ball, medium to hard contact. Going into Seattle, it is a ballpark bump for him. But Seattle, they have some power righties. They have Nelson Cruz, Danny Valencia, historically good against lefties. Mike Zunino's probably the hottest catcher in the league right now, hitting-wise. And then you can even round it out with Robinson Cano and Kyle Seager, who actually, throughout their careers, they have hit lefties pretty well.
Yeah, I like Seattle. I mean, I'm always a big fan of picking on Hector Santiago. He just gives it the long ball. Hopefully the roof is open. That would be a nice bump.
It would, and Nelson Cruz against Santiago is one of my favorite plays just in general on the day. But Zunino, he's been on fire the last couple weeks. Cape Coral boy, he's local to where I'm from right now, but hit a couple home runs over the last 2 weeks, and it's hitting about almost a 300 average too.
Yeah, that grand slam off Cobb was an absolute bomb.
Yeah, he's got a lot of power at the position, and he's priced up too.
Third stack for me is Milwaukee. I know they're without a few guys. Travis Shaw's paternity list. Ryan Braun's banged up. But I still like this stack here against, Matt Cain, who on the road is a guy who, allowing a 393 WOBA, has around 5 home runs on the road as well in just 25 innings. And you look at Milwaukee, I mean, one of the biggest things is always their huge strikeout rate against right-handed pitching, but that's pretty much negated by the fact that Kane can't miss a lot of bats, just a 5.1% swing strike rate. And all this guy does is just throw a lot of fastballs and cutters these days. And just look at Milwaukee, they rank third against cutters in the league. So, I mean, I think the guys like Sogard, Thames, even Hernan Perez and Domingo Santana I like here.
I like him too. Matt King, he's got the high fly ball rate. Usually AT&T Park helps him out, but going into Miller Park's a big downgrade in Park, so some of those fly balls are definitely going to go out.
Yeah. So big slate. I mean, there's a lot of stacking options. I mean, we gave you basically 6 that wasn't including cores.
Yeah, and there's a couple more that you could look at as well if you really want to get sneaky. You got those 2 rookies going in Kansas City. Maybe you can pick someone with the hot Astros or something like that. You have Jeff Locke going against the Cubs. They're not a bad option either with how bad Locke has been in his career, but those are just our top 6 plus cores.
Yep, definitely. So that's where we're going to be at. You can check out DaveFantasyCafe.com for all the great tools and content.
Yep, good luck.